Welcome back to the channel. Today is just another day in paradise, right? So today I wanted to focus on let's see if the light's good. Okay, right over here. I wanted to focus on the pan of the 6.4 Hemi. So what we're gonna be dealing with today is if you're using an LX style Hemi engine, it's gonna have, it's called a front sump engine pan or oil pan. And what that means is the lower part of the pan is towards the front of the engine. Now, the engine right here is flipped upside down, but this is the front of the engine, and you can see the oil pickup tube is at the front. Now, truck Hemis have the pickup tube runs to the back, and it's called a rear sump pan, which is what this is right here. This would go on, don't have enough hands, it'd go on like that roughly, but we have to relocate that pickup tube. Now, when I started filming this yesterday, I thought it was going to be a pretty simple process, but it's actually not. Well, I think it is now I know how to do it, but when I first was looking at doing it, I definitely was lost, and I needed to recruit some knowledge to help me out with it. So we'll go ahead, I have everything unscrewed right at the moment, but we'll take the pickup tube off. And remember, whenever you replace the pickup tube, there's that little blue gasket that's right on the end right here, this O-ring. Got to replace that. Luckily, the new one right here has that done already. So we will pull off the gasket. Set that right down here. And one of the things that you'll notice is in these corners where the aluminum meets the actual block, they put some of the, where's that? This stuff right here. RTV silicone right on these corners to help seal it in properly. So I did start scraping. I just took a razor blade very, very lightly and took off any that I could get to right there, and then I will dig it out of inside this little crack right here. See it right there too. But the main problem that we ran into is the old sump. The old sump that's right here went in and attached, let me go to this side, to this stud. Now the stud is, obviously, these are the main bearing caps. That's what this piece is, and this one, and there's another one there. Another one right here, and the stud is put into that. Now the new sump doesn't utilize, it doesn't utilize the stud here, but utilizes a stud here. So right there. So yeah, I wasn't looking forward to doing this. What we need to do is remove this stud and put a new bolt in here, and remove this bolt and put a stud here. Now, one thing to know about these bolts for the main bearing caps is they're torque to yield, which means that you can't reuse them again. So I went over to the good old Dodge dealership, and I picked up the correct bolts and studs that we need. Now, I've read a few different ways that this needs to be done, and I'm not sure the proper way. You know, people go back and forth, but there's two courses of action. One, we can just remove this bolt, put the one with the stud in, and re-torque it down properly. That's option one. The other option is you take one bolt out at a time. So take this one out, hand tighten in the correct one in, and then take this side of the cap bolt out, and then retighten in, and then torque it to spec using the proper procedure. That is the most recommended way I'm hearing. Now, if you've done it both ways, you know, feel free to make comments. I'm gonna actually take both of them out and retorque them properly, and that I have to do the same thing here too when I swap the correct bolt with stud over to this location. So that's about what I'm going to do here. I'm going to turn on the, a couple things. I did print off the correct torque procedures right here. And when we go to torque these on, we need to, we torque them down to 10 foot-pounds, and then we torque them down to 21 foot-pounds, and then we do 90-degree rotation. And I don't know what the final torque is estimated to be at, but we go 10, 21, and then 90 degrees. Very similar to what we had to do on head bolts. You have to, I think that one was 25, 40, and then torque to 90 degrees. So, and that would end somewhere around the 100, 101 foot-pound pressure. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna get to work here, and yeah, let's hope this goes nice and smoothly. Okay, another thing to note when installing these main bearing cap bolts is, according to the directions, you need to lube them up with some oil. So I'm gonna put some oil in that little Tupperware right here on there, and then here's the new bolts. So I'm just gonna lube them up with it. Okay, I was able to get the new main bearing cap bolts torqued down to spec. So got that piece done, and now let's fit the pickup tube on here. See how she fits. All right. That looks pretty darn good right there. All right, now so let's grab our pan. I'm gonna set the camera down here, grab the pan. And we'll test fit that. All right, test fitting that, and everything looks good. You know, rough view right here. Oh, one thing to note, when you get the new pan, it doesn't utilize, this is the old one right here, it doesn't utilize these back bolts right here. It utilizes one of the holes right here that's full of the RTV silicone, but we'll clean that out so we can actually use that one. But it's looking like everything's gonna line up pretty nicely here. All right, now on to actually putting the gasket on. Okay, so I was able to get the seal pretty clean. I picked out all the gunk and the silicone or RTV in the spots there. And I think we're ready to put the new gasket on. I'm gonna throw some RTV in here, 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 and here. Then we're gonna set it down, get the pan on, and then yeah, then we're cranking it down. Okay, I had to switch up to my camera here because of well, I ran out of battery. But I wanted to put this out on video because I got worried real quickly because the old case had, or the old oil pan had the dipstick location on the outside. But now we moved it. The new pan doesn't have that. But there is a port right here that goes on the inside, and I got worried because I thought I had to drill it out, and I'm kind of in a rush right here because I just put the RTV stuff on there and set it down, so I was really worried that I was gonna have to get a new gasket or something like that because I was about to crank everything down. But we figured out that it's plugged by this little pressure piece of metal that's pressed in there somehow. And I just took a hole punch and just put it on the inside right here and just knocked it out, and it just pops right out. So, all right, cool. All right, so as you can see, the oil pan is no longer on the bottom. I guess this is that scenario where you live, you learn. You wish you had a little more experience in this. So the issue that I ran into is I got the main bearing caps put back on, torqued down properly. Everything's good there. Everything fits nicely. All the holes line up with the oil pan. Everything's good. But I've missed a pretty critical spot. We even got the dipstick hole figured out. I didn't think about that one ahead of time, but we kind of scrambled to get that done because I had already put the silicone RTV on the actual gasket to put down onto the engine. And then I went to put the engine or the oil pan bolts in. They're these little guys. Oh, now I'm throwing stuff around. They're these guys. Everything's good. And yeah, I didn't realize that I didn't have enough bolts. Yep. There are 19 on the old oil pan, but there are 21 on the new oil pan. And the reason for that is on the old oil pan, that spot and that spot right there were not used. They were just filled in with silicone. So they are used on the new one. Not only that, I realized that these are too long. The thickness of the new oil pan is just metal, and it's super thin right here. The thickness on the old oil pan is, I would say, a little over 1/4 inch, or maybe 1/4 inch. So yeah, that pretty much ends today's video because... Okay, hold up for just a second here. This is some like Back to the Future stuff. So I was, gonna end the video with what you had just seen and decided that, it's just not a good way to end it. So I went into the future real quick, grabbed the parts that I actually needed, and then now I'm back into present time, I guess you could say. So let's go ahead and get this done here. I got the correct bolts for the pan. So yeah, everything's set. I think we're good to go. I got the surface is all clean. I'm gonna throw on some of the RTV, and we're gonna get right to work here. So let's do this. Finally, the pan's gonna be done. All right, that's the oil pan. It is on, secured down, and yeah, we solved all the problems that related to it, so I'm super geeked about that. So yeah, I think that's the end of the video here for the final time, this video. And then, yeah, I'm gonna start working on some more stuff here. We got a few videos queued up since I'm coming back from the future and I know this type of stuff. So yeah, the next couple days here, we'll be releasing some new videos. It's looking good. Awesome. Thank you for subscribing. Talk to you guys later. Peace.